All right, let's talk about side handles. I've tested a few to see which works best, and here is my small selection. So originally this is the handle I started with. I have this since my first SmallRig cage for the A7 Mark III, and it is really nice. The ergonomics are nice, the mechanism here is nice. Also nice thing is you have your Allen key right there, a few mounting options, cold shoe. But the cold shoe is a bit of an issue with this when I want to use my video mic NTG. It's basically just because of the mount of the video mic NTG. It's hard to really get it tight and never will get tight here. So this is an issue. And also this here, it's a bit far off the cage. So I wanted to look for other solutions. So I wanted to try and test a few out. And so I stumbled on this one because I really like the wooden handle. The material, it's really nice. And also one key thing is I don't want to have any NATO rail or anything else because I want to switch from the cage with handle and no handle in no time. And so this is really essential. So this is the newer version basically of this, and it has a start-stop button here. The mechanism is a bit updated. It also has an Allen key here, a mounting option here, and the same cold shoe mount. So this grip also has the issue that the video mic NTG will not get tight enough. So yeah, that is a little bit of an issue. We will talk about the start-stop button in a minute. I'm not keen about it. It's nice, but it also has a few issues there. Also, by the way, just like with this one, you can switch from left to right side. Just switch this mechanism around, and also the height is adjustable. So the other option is this one. This is also from SmallRig. It's quite cheap and small, made of plastic and rubber. And I have to be fair, it doesn't come with this cold shoe thingy on top. So you have to put on your own. It only has those 3/4 inch mounts here, but you can have a side strap if you want. But basically the whole mechanism is the same. You can switch from left to right and also move it up and down. So this is really usable as well. It's a bit cheaper, smaller, lighter as well, but it's not as ergonomic, of course. One note, you have an Allen key here as well, but the magnets are not as strong, so I actually lost mine on a shoot outdoors. So yeah, so I was looking for other options and I stumbled on those Needsy grips. Now this one has an interesting shape. It has a few different mounting options. This one is with airy lock pins, and this cage has airy lock pins as well on the side here, on the right side. But overall this whole screw thingy mechanism is a bit flimsy and not as solid. But then again, this shape is a bit odd, and it's made of hard plastics, and those edges are a bit sharp, so to speak. It's really uncomfortable, and even this here, it's not really nice to hold. Your hand will start to hurt, especially here. It's not good at all, even though it is a bit cheaper, but it really feels uncomfortable. Even though the overall basic concept of this seems nice, the cold shoe is good, so the microphone fits much better here and you are able to get it tight, so that is no problem. But overall, this, no, don't get it. But there's a newer version of this. This is also made from plastic, I guess, but it has like a soft touch rubber coating or whatever. It feels smoother, of course. The shape is also more ergonomic, even though this is a bit tight as well. But overall, I really like this one over the original old version. This one fits much better and is more comfortable and has quite a few mounting options here. Even a relocking pin, a few more pieces here, side strap. You can switch it from left to right, height adjustable, a better mechanism here. And the cold shoe is also quite good. You can fit and tighten your microphone here. The mechanism of the Video Mic Anti-G is a bit tricky, but it really works quite well here. So there you go. This is a solid one. Okay, let's mount those to the cage itself. So this is the original one. Yeah, so this feels really nice. It's solid, looks good overall, but the spacing is a bit too wide, so to speak, to reach the buttons here. So yeah, but overall I really like the shape, the size, the feel. But yeah, it's a bit tricky with this mic. I mean, if you use the smaller Video Micro, this certainly works. So let's talk about this one and just see how this works. Basically the same. Yeah, so this works too. It's not as comfortable, but certainly works. Especially for the money, it is solid. And again, it maybe is a bit off, a bit far away. Just a few inches, centimeters, millimeters closer would work better. But overall, I think this is still a usable side handle. Of course, a bit cheaper, but works quite well. Okay, let's talk about this start-stop button side handle. Yes, it is solid and usable as well. So certainly a nice option, quite comfortable, even a bit more grip, I'd say. A little bit shorter, so for bigger hands. So the original one works a bit better because this is a bit taller. But overall, I really like this new design as well. It's a bit more expensive because of this start-stop button, and it works with an additional cable. Cable goes there, USB-C, there you go. And then you have to get it over here on this side to the multi-port. And that's what I don't like. This is quite out there. Yes, you can get a cable clamp, I think, from SmallRig as well. Not quite sure if it fits here, but overall I don't like this cable here, down here. It's a bit in the way, and sometimes my colleague had this as well, and it got loose or broke the connection here and it stopped working. And again, the issue with the side handle here, that the Video Mic Anti-G will not get tight enough. It certainly works though with the Video Micro though. So one issue though, when you use the mic with the dead cat, you kinda bump against the mic when you have it on there. And again, now the button didn't work. So even with the mic, it's a bit tight. Okay, let's talk about the last one, because actually this, even though, I mean, we could talk about, we can put it here. Yeah, especially with the weight resting all on this side here, it's quite uncomfortable, and down here as well. It is not pleasant, so don't get it, no. Okay, last one. Tolerances are a little bit off, so sometimes it's tricky to get those screws lined up. And of course, it's a different size of Allen key, so you have to have your own Allen key here. It doesn't have an Allen key stored inside the grip. So the SmallRig tool for the rescue. Now, what I really like about this grip is the spacing. It's a bit tighter to the cage, so it works better, even though it's a bit far off. So it's not perfect as well, but especially with the mic. Now the mic is a little bit better positioned to your subject. Every millimeter counts, and so this is a better fit and the microphone gets tight here. So if I'm on the run, on the road, this is my go-to setup with the mic here, and with the dead cat it works certainly quite well. So one more side handle for this rig. I showed you that in another video. I link up here, no, here, whatever, is this one. This is the tilter side handle. You have to choose what side you want. You can switch. This is now the left side, and it's made for red, basically. And you have different options. You have to buy this mount bracket thingy here. In this case, I chose the Airy Rosetta thingy mount. You have different kind of mounts here, NATO rail and so on, but they are also hard to get and more expensive and a little bit odd shaped. But then again, I really like it. But on the other hand, you don't have any cold shoe, and this mount here is not as solid, so it doesn't really work on my right handle. But what I like to use it for is here. I have this adapter. I showed you this in my compact rig cage video. This is how I use it, and so this is really solid now. I have a solid grip with this setup, but certainly it's a bit bulkier than without any grips. But what I also can do is just mount it here. And now here I have it on this side. It's also nice just to rest this because of this size here. I rest it on my knuckle, so to speak, or what is this called here? Not quite sure, on my arm here, just here, and it can rest on this quite well. So it has a bit more support on the arm, which is nice. Yeah, anyways, that's about it about those side handles. I mean, this is the clear winner for me. Still, this is the side handle I started with. It's the best in terms of ergonomics, I think, size, weight, price, and at least in terms of side handles without NATO rail mount, this is the best one to get. The budget option is this one, still a really solid one. It's lightweight, not expensive, but works quite well. Keep in mind, you have to get a cold shoe mount if you want to mount a microphone like this. This one is around 30 bucks. There's a 60 bucks option made of metal or aluminium, and it has a cold shoe mount already in there. By the way, I think this one is around 100 euros or 100 bucks. So there you go. If you really want a record button, this one is solid, but I don't really like the cable. So if you don't mind the cable, this one is good and usable as well, quite ergonomic and good. By the way, don't get this one, it's garbage. So yeah, in the end, this is a nice compromise, I think, in terms of price and build quality and ergonomics. I'm not quite sure about the rubber though. It works, it's smooth, but feels a bit odd. And this corner is a bit too sharp. But again, it works nicely with the Rode VideoMic NTG. It fits tight, and the spacing between cage and handle is quite nice. So this is a good compromise, I'd say. But if I don't use any mic, I go back to this one. Anyways, that's it. This is all I have to say about side handles. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. Also, let me know what side handle you use and why, and if I should check it out. And yeah, that's it. Back to work.